By the end of this video, you're going to know everything you need to know to become a profitable day trader, even if you're starting as a complete beginner. This full 6-hour course is going to be packed with more value than what most people charge hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for. I'm going to take you step by step for you to actually understand exactly what it is that day trading is, how to read charts, understanding candlesticks, choosing the right platforms, mastering the right strategies, how to manage your trades, how to properly journal all of your trades, and how to actually use other people's money to trade with so you don't have to risk your own. I'm going to literally hand you everything you need within the next 6 hours for you to become a profitable day trader. But first of all, who am I? My name is Juvir, and I've been day trading for over 8 years. And honestly, day trading has completely changed my life. I was able to buy my first home for over $1 million. I bought my wife her dream car. I bought myself my dream car. And most importantly, I gained financial freedom, time freedom, and location freedom. I can live wherever I want to. I can buy whatever I want to. And I can not only just take care of myself, but I can take care of my entire family and all of my friends. And over the past 8 years, I've been able to consistently make over 6 figures every single month with day trading. And that's exactly why I believe that everybody should learn how to trade, and why I'm honestly making this entire course 100% free. Because you and every other person watching this deserve to learn a skill that could not just set you free, but set your entire family free as well. Now, honestly, I remember when I first started off day trading and everybody made it just way too complicated. Like the first video I ever watched, it was by this old guy on YouTube. It just happened to pop up in my YouTube feed at that time. I watched it. The title was like how to make $100 a day with trading or something like that. And me being super young, I'm like, bro, $100 a day? That's absolutely amazing. So I watched the video and basically I understood absolutely nothing, but I still continue to watch this guy's videos just in case I catch onto it. But every single thing he was saying, no matter what video I watched like 10, 15 of his videos. And it just all sounded like Chinese. Like no matter what, I just could not understand it because he overcomplicated it way too much. So much to the point where I never actually stuck with it. I ended up actually trying drop shipping. I tried Amazon FBA. I tried affiliate marketing. I was making workout videos on YouTube at that time. I got so turned off from day trading and how complicated it was just from that one guy that I was watching that it made me go into all these other avenues that made me waste time, made me lose money, and that I never saw success in. But for my 8 years of mastering this craft and teaching tens of thousands of people how to actually day trade, I found a way to give you all the information that you need to become a successful day trader in the simplest form possible. So simple that even a 10-year-old could actually learn how to trade. And the reason I know that is because I've actually taught a 10-year-old how to trade. So if you're watching this and you're over the age of 10, you stand a pretty good chance. So with that being said, grab a notebook, grab a pen, grab some water, grab your favorite snack, and let's learn a skill that could literally change your life. So let's jump into it. So what is day trading? In simple terms, it is the act of being able to predict whether a stock or a crypto or a Forex or futures, if the price of those things are going to go up or if they go down. That's really what it is. And that's just all based off of patterns. Now, you've probably heard your parents or your grandparents, your aunts, uncles, whatever it is, talk about buying stocks and holding stocks for years and making money on it. That's cool and all, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about day trading and being able to make money in a short amount of time without having to hold it for days or weeks or months to make money. And we're also talking about being able to make a lot more money and actually have better risk. So we're not risking as much money. Now, the cool thing about day trading as well is if you just buy a stock and the price goes down, you're going to lose money. But with day trading, if we predict that price is going to go down, we can actually make money while price is going down, and vice versa. We can also make money if we predict that price is going to go up. And that's one of the huge benefits when it comes to day trading, because it puts you in more control of your money and you can actually make profits no matter if we're in a bear market, which means the market is just going down, or we're in a bull market, which simply means that the market is going up. Now, that's what day trading is, but why should you learn day trading? And the answer to that is because it's one of the few skills that once you learn it, it never goes away. It's one of the most valuable skills that you can learn because it doesn't only give you financial freedom. You can literally make any amounts of money that you could ever want to make with day trading, but it also gives you time freedom because you can do it whenever you want to. And it gives you location freedom because you can do it from literally anywhere in the world. It does not matter where you live. It does not matter where you stay or what time you want to do it. You can day trade. Me and my wife live in Dubai for 4 months out of the year. And while I'm in Dubai, I'm in a completely different time zone and I'm halfway across the world, yet I'm still able to make just as much money day trading. Now let's burst some myths that you might have about day trading. The first one being, is day trading actually legit and can you actually make money? And the answer to that is heck yes, because not only have I proven that, but hundreds, if not millions of other people have proven that you can actually make money with day trading. And it's real money that you're making. The $1,000 that you see that you make in day trading, you can withdraw that $1,000 and pay your rent, buy sneakers, buy food, take a vacation. It's real money. Myth number 2 is that most people believe that you need hundreds of thousands of dollars to start day trading. And that's not true. You can get started with as little as $10, honestly. And using other people's money to day trade and make money with it is very, very easy. And we're going to get into that later on inside this video. But like I said, you can get started with $10, $50, $100. It does not matter. Day trading is not for the ultra rich or the rich at all. Myth number 3 is that people think you need to spend hours a day trading. And that's simply not true. How I trade and how I teach other people to trade is by literally spending 30 minutes a day on the charts and making my money and then going about with the rest of my day. As I just mentioned, trading gives us time freedom. And what's the point of us having this time freedom if we're spending hours glued to our desk? That's not how I trade. And that's not how I teach people or how I will teach you to trade. As long as you have 30 minutes to 2 hours every single day, you can start making money with day trading. The next myth is that people think that it's going to take you 10 years to be able to start making money day trading. And that's honestly not true. It really ranges and depends on the person, but you can start consistently making profits from 3 months all the way up to maybe a year or 2 years. I've had students of mine that knew absolutely nothing about day trading, and after 3 months were able to make $40,000 in just 1 month. So that proves to you, and I've seen it proved time and time again, that you don't need years to be able to get good at this skill. The next myth that people think is that you need some expensive computer, you need 30 million screens, you need a super crazy setup, when in reality, you really don't. You can literally trade right from your phone. You can trade with a laptop. You can trade with a desktop computer. As long as you have internet and a screen that you can see, you can start trading. You do not need any expensive gaming ultra computer or anything like that. With that being said, let's get into the different types of day trading. So there are 5 major markets that we can trade. There's the Forex market, there's the futures market, there's the stock market, there's an options market, and there's the crypto market. The Forex market is trading currency versus currency. And what I mean by that, it's like trading the British pound versus the US dollar. It's like when you go to a different country, if you ever went to a different country and you exchange, let's say US dollar for, let's say the British pound, you'll put in 1 US dollar, you'll get 1.5 British pound. You're trading that price discrepancy because there's sometimes where you'll go 1 month and you'll get $1.5. There's another time you'll go and you'll get $1.4. So the price is constantly changing and you're trading that discrepancy. You're trading the change between those two. Now, futures trading, you are trading contracts of commodities, indices, or energies. And all that basically means is that you can trade gold. You can trade the price of gold. You can trade the price of silver. You can trade the price of corn. You can trade the price of a group of stocks. You could basically trade a lot of different things. And as I mentioned, you're betting on the price of those things going up or down. Now, the options market is similar to futures, but it's also very different. But with options, you can trade stocks, you can trade indices, once again, which is basically just a group of stocks put together. It's just a bundle of stocks. You can trade penny stocks. You could trade a bunch of different things when it comes to options. And keep in mind, with futures trading and options trading, you're trading it leveraged, which basically means that, let's say you have $100 in your account, you're allowed to buy, let's say, $10,000 worth of a stock. Versus with regular stock trading, you need to have that amount of money in your account. Let's say you want to buy $10,000 worth of Tesla, you need to have $10,000. But you can get around that by trading futures and options. But going on to crypto now, you can actually trade specific prices of cryptocurrencies. So you've probably heard of Bitcoin. You've probably heard of Ethereum or Solana. You can actually trade if you believe that price will go up or go down, depending on what instrument or what cryptocurrency you are looking at. That is the crypto market. Now, for this video, we're going to focus mainly on Forex and futures because that's the things that I mainly trade. And we'll dive into the difference of both futures and Forex. But keep in mind, 90% of the information that is in this video can be applied across the board. It can be applied to stocks. It can be applied to crypto, Forex, futures, options. It's the same information. A lot of it just has different terminology and different platforms. But like I said, we're going to mainly focus on Forex and futures. So let's get into the differences between those two. So as I mentioned, we're going to focus mainly in this video on futures and Forex. So I'm going to go into a simple comparison of both of them, give you guys the pros and the cons so you guys can make educated decisions on which one you're going to choose. So first of all, what is Forex? Forex is short for the foreign exchange. It's where people trade different currencies like the US dollar, euro, or the Japanese yen. It's actually the biggest market in the world, and it runs 24 hours a day. Now, what is futures trading? Futures trading is buying and selling contracts that say that you'll buy or sell something like gold or oil at a later date at a specific price. So in simple terms, how I explain to people is imagine you have this phone right here and you bought this phone, or you bought a contract that said that you can buy this phone for $1,000 no matter how much this phone cost. Now, let's say a year down the line, Apple is selling this phone for $10,000, but you have a contract that says that you can buy this phone for $1,000. So obviously you buying something that costs $10,000 for $1,000 is a great option to have. So that contract that you hold to sell it for $1,000, that contract is worth a lot. So you don't even have to buy this phone for $1,000. You can just sell the contract for someone else to buy the phone. That's basically what futures trading is. But you can do that with things, as I explained, like gold, oil, corn, wheat, livestock, stocks and indexes like the NAS 100, the NASDAQ, or the S&P 500. You can do that with futures trading. Now, some of the pros when it comes to Forex is that it's open 24 hours, like I said, and it's open 5 days a week. It's very liquid, which simply means that a lot of people are trading it because, as I mentioned, it's the biggest market in the world. Now, Forex is also great for small account sizes. You can trade Forex with $10 in your account, $5 in your account. So it's great for people that don't have a lot of money. And there's also a lot of things that you can trade in the Forex market. You can trade Euro USD, and we'll get into all these a little bit later on. You can trade GBP JPY, which is simply just trading currencies versus currencies, the price of one currency versus the price of another currency. That's all that means. Now, some of the cons when it comes to Forex is that it can be very volatile, which means that since it's a lot of people trading it, it moves very fast, which for new traders can be very scary and very daunting. So you have to be aware of that. Another thing is that it's not as regulated in some countries. Most of the brokers or the platforms that you're going to use, broker is simply the thing that holds your money. And like I said, we're going to get very in depth into all these things in a second here. But those platforms sometimes aren't regulated, which isn't always a bad thing. It's just something that you have to be cautious about. Also, brokers may have hidden fees that you have to be wary of. And big moves can be hard to catch because, like I said, it is very volatile because there are a lot of people trading it. So it moves very fast and it's always moving. Now, some of the pros when it comes to futures trading is that it is highly regulated. So there are laws and things making sure that everything's on the up and up, right? It's also clear pricing and low fees. They have to be, since it's regulated, they have to be super upfront with all of their fees and all of their pricing. So you know what you're getting into beforehand. Another pro is that futures is great for fast trades. You can get in and out of trades very, very fast when it comes to trading futures. And it's great for technical strategies. It's actually, to me, easier to trade futures than it is to trade Forex. And that's my personal opinion. Now, some of the cons of futures. So not all futures markets you can trade 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. It's just, there's some that you can, there's some that you just can't. Another con is that it could be risky because you can have high leverage. Another thing when it comes to futures, you don't need a bunch of money to trade futures. You can start trading futures with $50. But because you have so much leverage, and all leverage means is that if you have $10, a lot of these platforms or websites will let you trade as if you have like $20,000. So that's basically what leverage means. And obviously, if you have that amount of leverage, or if you're trading as if you have that much money, you can lose a lot of money fast as well. So it's just something to be aware of, but I'm going to show you guys how to avoid that completely. And then also it requires a bit of knowledge at the start. Both futures and Forex do, but this video is going to completely obliterate that con of futures. Now, which one should you choose? Realistically, both Forex and futures can be great. I started off my trading career 8 years ago trading Forex, but about 3 years ago, I transitioned to trading all futures. Maybe 10% of the time I'll trade Forex. It's just personal preference for me. But honestly, if you want to trade currencies and be more flexible with your time, you can try out Forex. If you love more so structured charts, clean setups, and low spreads, all spreads means is that if you buy something right here, it gets you in right here. Sometimes with these unregulated Forex brokers, if you press buy right here, it'll get you in up here, which obviously starts you off in the negative, which is not a good thing. So that's another reason why I love futures. So like I said, it depends on your personality, but we're going to dive into both Forex and futures inside this entire 6-hour guide. So you'll be fully equipped to be able to handle any of these markets or options or stocks or crypto if you wanted to get into those as well. Next, I want to show you guys the most popular things that most Forex or futures traders actually trade, so you guys are just aware of them. So when it comes to Forex, the main thing that most people trade, the top 5 things that most people trade is Euro USD, which simply means you're trading the price difference between the Euro dollar and the US dollar. Or they trade USD JPY, which is the price difference between the US dollar and the Japanese yen. They trade GBP USD. They'll trade USD Chief. They'll trade AUD USD. Those are all just the main things that people trade. And we'll actually show you these on the chart so you know exactly what I'm referring to. It might all seem like Chinese to you, but I promise you it's super simple. But when it comes to trading futures, the most popular ones that most people trade and the ones that I trade most of the time is ES, which is just the futures version of the S&P 500, which is a compilation of a bunch of stocks, of 500 stocks put together. You can trade NQ, which is the same thing as the NASDAQ, which is a compilation of 100 stocks put together, 100 of the top stocks put together. You can trade CL, which is crude oil. It's the price of crude oil. There's GC, which you're trading the price of gold. And then there's ZB, which you're trading the price of 30-year bonds. And these are all just things that you can trade. Realistically, it doesn't matter what you trade. All of them are going to be able to, you're going to be able to apply the information in this video to anything, no matter if it's on this list or if it's not on the list. I just wanted to make you guys aware of the top 5 things that most people trade in both these markets. Now in trading, there's something called trading sessions, and it's important that you understand what these are, because these periods of time is when specific instruments, no matter if you're trading from that list of 5 that I showed you guys or outside of that list, some of them will move more during certain times of the day, and you want to be aware of that. And that's simply because of the trading sessions. So all of these times that I'm going to go through with you guys are in Eastern Standard Time. So if you're in a different time zone, just convert it to that time zone. But the Asian session, which is the least amount of volume, when I say volume, that means that there's the least people trading it, which means it moves the slowest, and it doesn't have as much movement. It still does move, and you still can trade during this time. But the Asian session starts at 7 p.m. and it ends at 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, the London session is the second most volatile, as far as it has the second highest amount of volume during this session. So it's the second most amount of people trading during this period, which is from 3 a.m. all the way up to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then the New York session starts at 8 a.m. and it ends at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this session is where most traders trade, and it has the most volume. Now, the best trading times, if you're looking for a lot of volume, if you're looking for a lot of movement, is the overlap, because you can see here, the London session is from 3 a.m. to 12 p.m., but the New York session is from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So there's a period in here between 8 a.m. and 12 p.m. when London session and New York session are happening. So when that period is happening, there is an overlap. So now both of the volume from London session and New York session is combined together. So that's when there's the most movement in the market. And that's honestly when most people trade. Now, like I said, you can trade outside of this time. You can trade during the Asian session. That's perfectly fine. But just be aware that most things are just going to move slower. The price of things are just going to move slower, which in turn could just mean that you might have to be in a trade a little bit longer versus in New York session. For example, a trade that you take in New York session, you could be in and out of a trade within 5, 10, 15 minutes. But that same trade, if you took it during Asian session, you could have to wait an hour or an hour and a half for that trade to actually be complete. So it's just important that you are aware of what trading sessions are and see the times for when they are, so you know for yourself which session you're trading versus which session you wouldn't really pay attention to. So now that we went over the different types of trading and the different type of markets, let's go over analysis now. Market analysis. This is the bread and butter of us as traders. We actually use different types of analysis. There's two main types of analysis. We use those two types of analyzing the market to help us predict whether price is going to go up or down, which obviously in turn helps us to actually make money. This part is extremely crucial to understand and really go in depth in. So we're going to take our time here to really dive into it to make sure you guys completely understand everything that's going on. So starting off, there are two different types of analysis. There's fundamental analysis and there's technical analysis. Starting off with fundamental analysis. Fundamental analysis is simply, in simple terms, looking at news and how news affects the markets or how news will affect the market.